The hippopotamus, an iconic symbol of the continent of Africa. These semi-aquatic creatures roam wild here and nowhere else in the world. At least they didn't until now. This small herd of wild hippos lives thousands of miles from Africa in the South American country of Colombia. How they got here is a crime story. Where they're going is a mystery. It began decades ago, here in what's called the Hacienda Nápoles. Now it's a ruin, but this was once the fortress and personal playground of one of the world's most famous criminals, Pablo Escobar, ruler of the Medellin drug cartel. Escobar used his ill-gotten wealth to stock this 7,000-acre estate with a private airstrip. Dozens of buildings, and a faux Jurassic Park, complete with life-size dinosaurs. He also had his own personal zoo, stocked with exotic species, such as zebras, giraffes, and 4 hippopotamus. Walter Lopez, who goes by the name Chocolate, is now a ranger for the environmental agency in charge of much of Hacienda Nápoles. He knows what it was like before Escobar's downfall.
Originally,
the hippos were kept in this lagoon right here and on another big one over there. They would feed them in this area and they would give them carrots and salt. They'll eat grass. There was a lot there. Since this place was left alone and no one was taking care of it, the electric fence stopped working, so they started to break through the wire fences because the barbed wire doesn't stop them. So they started to take over the whole ranch and run freely everywhere and started to hang out in the largest lake.
Most of Escobar's wild animals were captured and taken to zoos. At least 2 of the hippos were left behind. They rank among the 2nd largest mammals in the world and can produce calves every 2 years. Pablo's hippos adapted to this lush landscape, devoid of natural predators, and they went forth and multiplied. The herd now numbers about 16, perhaps more. Some have proposed turning Hacienda Nápoles into a theme park. The government plans to use part of the site to build a prison.
Bueno, estamos en el sector de la casa pesquera de Pablo Escobar.
We're in the area of Pablo Escobar's old house. As you're seeing, what's left here are ruins. Here we can see how the people have ruined the floors because they've come looking for treasure and all of that stuff. Once they brought a backhoe into this area of the pool and the bar, and they knocked that over with a backhoe. So when you come in and you look at the state it's in, well, I get nostalgic because the government could have maintained this, or this could have been self-sustained by charging entrance fees. It could have been kept as he had it. It's sad to see it like this.
Escobar was a troubling figure in Colombian history, and dealing with his legacy is apt to be a touchy subject. Which leaves the hippos, some of which have reportedly wandered off from the main herd to establish new stomping grounds. Hippos can be dangerous, and some are worried.
There could be human losses, and I'm sure there will be, because they will take over the river as their territory. People take sand out of the river, they transport products like plantains and yucca, everything that they ship by boats. And if these animals are in the river, well, forget it, because people won't be able to pass through or they will be prone to have an accident caused by these animals.
Colombia has offered the hippos free for the taking, and some environmental groups have expressed tentative interest. But like Pablo Escobar, these big guys probably won't go quietly. And if they can't be caught, the government hints they may have to be shot, just like their former owner, gunned down on the run. For some, that would be a tragedy. They see the Hippos as a positive legacy of a despised man. Colombia has come a long way from its darkest days. But years after his death, Pablo Escobar continues to stir emotions and create problems for Colombians. And hippos far from their ancestral home carry the weight of their troubled history.
Sponsored by National Geographic Mission Programs, taking science and exploration into the new millennium.